Hey, you guys, it's Lula. So today is day 7 of the 28-day challenge. For now 7 days straight, I've been coming to you guys, talking about stuff, different topics, different situations. I might get emotional because I am a loving, happy, upbeat fairy, but I'm also a very old, wise wizard. And that's soul knowledge, not ego. But all of my gifts combined and all of the different skills that I've accumulated since the inception of my soul are all coming together in this life. Look at this. Yes, this new moon, it's really powerful. It's making me get really deep. Get in there. Work that shit out, you guys. And I realize I have to talk to you on the regular because I want you to call me. I want you to text me. I want you to reach out and work with me one-on-one. Of course. Thank you so much. I love that energy exchange. But this is so much bigger than me, so much bigger than you, so much. It's us accumulative, right? So, thank you, Spirit. Yeah. So you know how yesterday I was talking about, doing good in the world and all that? But we're also going to have days like this, where as much as I feel joyful, and of course I'll do good when I'm out in the world, but it's okay to be somber too. It's okay to have those reflective, real inward moments, those real authentic spaces. I think one of the main reasons why I didn't want to do this show was because of stuff like this. I am very much a warrior, but I also have the biggest heart. It's so vulnerable. But it's tough because there are times where if someone crosses me very deeply, very darkly, it's like, man, it's like, bam, like, don't fuck with the witch. Don't get it twisted. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. This is a balance that I seek myself. We must learn to balance our light and our dark. It's our greatest challenge, right? Just like our ego. Getting our ego in balance, getting our emotions in balance. For a long time, my family wanted to put me away. Not because they didn't love me, but because they loved me, because they were scared, because I was repeatedly saying I wanted to die and that I wanted to kill myself. And I remember one time, my mom, I felt so bad for her face. When I said, I don't belong here. I feel it. Don't you think I feel it? And I was angry because I kept over and over hearing from family, friends, teachers, everything, church people, you're so sensitive. Stop being so sensitive. Why are you so sensitive? Toughen up. It's a tough world, kid. And I know they were trying to do me a favor, and they did. I chose them for a reason because they beat the fuck out of me constantly, and it just made me come back harder and stronger, like a fighter. No wonder why I want to wear my hoodie today. I always have to cover my crown chakra, whether it's a hat or whatever. No, actually, that's not true. Not always. Sometimes I don't feel like I need to, but on vulnerable days like this, when I'm really emotional, I do feel that. Yeah, today I wasn't, I'm like, I don't care what I look like today. Some days I want to be beautiful and frilly. I mean, I'm always beautiful, but you know what I mean? I want to be really animated and fairy-like. And other days I want to be like this. It's balance, right? But my family wanted to put me away and wanted to put me on medication. I heard regular things like, you're like grandma. And my grandmother was on, she had a chemical imbalance and she was on medication. But though my family doesn't believe in what I believe in, I know what I know. Not only do I know that my grandmother was a witch, but we talk about it all the time because I am still really close to her. And I was really lucky because I was one of the last people to be there, one of the last people to talk to her before she died. And I sat there for hours and hours and hours. And my Uncle Johnny and I were just sitting there, and he lived in Arkansas and I lived in LA, and it was just us and my grandpa, and he was like, I'm so sorry, but this is going to be the last time you're going to see her. I can feel it. He's like, she's bounced back a few times, but this is it. And I was like, fuck. And I was so young. I think I was 27, and I remember thinking she was the only person who really, really knew me, who really, really loved me and didn't judge me, and she never wanted me to be anything but what I was. And our personal conversations were like nothing I can explain. And we didn't tell anybody about our conversations, but my grandma was magic, and she wasn't crazy. She didn't hear voices on the radio. She was a fucking medium. She was a really powerful, powerful psychic. Most of the women in my family are. The men are too. We're all witches, but it's okay. They can come to it when they're ready. They may never come to it, and that's okay. That's their, it's my languaging. It's what I see. I don't expect them, if they retaliate from this, I apologize. This is my truth. I'm speaking my truth. And that's part of the reason why I didn't want to come on here. Because when I was in my 20s and I was making music, I was so proud of it. And I remember coming home one year for, I think it was Christmas or something, and sat everybody around, and I was so excited to, play them my music. And it made them all upset because I was talking in my lyrics about what had happened to me as a child, what I witnessed, And it was all of a sudden like, they were like, everybody made me feel like the biggest dick because there my mom was sitting there like a victim, quiet. She wasn't saying anything. And I'm talking about my father hitting her. And I don't remember the lyric exactly, but it was something about putting on makeup, her little disguise or something, covered up lies. Because it was a reality for me, and I don't wish any child to hear their mother get hit or see their mother get hit. It is a very traumatic experience. It's extremely traumatic. And we were just taught not to talk about it. And I internalized so much shit. And I think on this new moon, I'm like, I gotta leave this shit here, because even though it's always gonna be a part of me, their shame was pressed upon me, and I didn't feel shame. I felt sadness, because I knew my dad was an awesome human being, but when he drank, he was a monster. And because I was who I was at the time, nobody really understood my gifts or who I was or what I knew or what I could tell. And one of my shamans told me that I went back when I was 2. I couldn't handle the pain of being in my playpen or whatever I was. I couldn't get out. And my dad was hitting my mom, and I can hear her screaming. And there was nothing I could do. And so I started leaving my body when I was 2. And then I would go and get all these angels and these protectors, and I would put them around us. And I didn't even know what I was doing. But now I've talked to so many different healers that I've worked with, and they all tell me the same thing. And I don't tell them. They don't know the other healers, So it's like, I know it's true because it feels true. It's my soul knowledge. So I'm here to help you go through your stuff, and I'll hold your hand. I'll help you get through it. It's not easy. I was talking to this beautiful African-American man the other day, and I said, we have soul contracts. And I said, and every time we come over here, I said, we sign that soul contract. And I said, do you think it's an accident that I made myself a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed American woman in this day and age? I'm like, because I own the fucking world. I can get in anywhere like this. And I looked at him and I said, that's what makes you the greatest superhero of them all. I'm like, anybody who's struggling, whether it's through gender identity or color, race, whatever, pigment in your skin, I mean, the shape of your eyes is fucking crazy fucking controlled, manifested world by very greedy, powerful monsters. Anyway, I digress. It's heavy shit, you guys. It's time to go through all of your stuff. You gotta feel it. And I had to feel it in front of you because I have been feeling so much heavy stuff this week, and it's culminating, and now I can feel it with this new moon impending. And this was the last thing I had to let go. Not forever, but I mean, I already feel lighter and I feel better. So thank you for holding space for me. And I hope this helps you to release and let go. I'm like, oh, I'm hot. I'm like the hood was good, but now, see, isn't that weird? Like I don't feel like I need to be protected. Sorry, I did not brush my hair. I literally woke up and was like, this is what I'm doing today, right now. Because sometimes it's really vital for me to be real with you guys, you know? Just like you need to be real with yourself, because this is real, what's happening. And I love you. And if people judge you for what you're going through, then they don't really love you, and they don't love themselves. Projection is a real thing. I know for myself, I am tired of being on the other hand of people who aren't dealing with their shit. You have to deal with your shit. And it will keep coming for you. I'm going to get cut off, and I think I'm going to go do yoga or something positive for myself. Whew. It's a rough day, but a good day. But a good day. You know, like, these days are good too, because these are the days that, like, now I'll kind of rest and sit with this for the rest of the day. I'll probably journal or, you know, sing or dance. That helps. Do whatever you need to do to help you work through your stuff. And just know I'm always here for you. Peace, light, and love be with you today and always. I love you. Have a blessed day. Aho.